game yesterday and see what 5 things we can take away from it. And first up, we're going to be talking about centre-backs in possession.
Yeah, and incredible yesterday. So Romero and Van de Ven both had a lot of possession yesterday. They were kind of the base of the team, and when we're talking about Tottenham building from the back, obviously those are the players we look to. Now yesterday, when it came to passes attempted, Crystal Palace attempted 220 passes in total, whereas Romero and Van de Ven, in just those two, they completed 200. One sec, what is it? They completed how many passes? It doesn't say here. Sorry, I'll get it in a sec. They completed basically over 230 passes between them, which is more than Crystal Palace together.
Yeah, Crystal Palace was 220.
Yeah, and they completed more. It was they completed about 250. So Van de Ven and Romero outpassed Palace just by themselves, which goes to show how we try to do things and how they keep possession, and they're the base of our build from the back. And yes, we had a lot of possession without really threatening, especially for large parts of the game, but those two, they were impeccable, and in possession they had more passes than the whole Palace team, which is amazing.
It's like they're so perfect for this style of football, for what Ange wants to do. They both complement each other so well, and defensively they both have such different kind of styles, but they are just so they're pretty much as good as each other, Van de Ven and Romero, and everything that you talk about in a top defender is what you want to see, and is what they produce and what they provide on the football pitch for us. And how comfortable they are in possession is just a joy to it. It's like they're two centre-backs that you could just watch all night long, and it's a joy to behold. So let's keep it up and let's keep it going. And I do dread, like, if one of them gets injured, what happens after that. But to see them week in, week out at the moment is just such a joy to behold.
And we had Josh King in the WhatsApp group saying Van de Ven is signalled to come off. He's coming off. He's coming off. He's not going to be seen for the second half. But luckily, that wasn't true.
I didn't even see that. Yeah. But yeah. Let's move on to number 2, and that is our Souare man. What a display from this man yesterday.
Yeah, brilliant for Pape Souare. I think really getting back to that form he was showing in the early parts of the season. Defensively, 2 interceptions, 1 block shot, 2 clearances. He was really, really industrious off the ball, on the ball as well. 1 out of 1 dribbles completed, 3 out of 4 long passes completed, 89% passing accuracy, and obviously heavily involved in both goals as well. Brilliant switch of play for the second goal, which allowed Brennan Johnson time and space to get forward, and a good link-up play with Maddison for the first goal, which forced the own goal. So really showing levels again, Pape Souare. I'm so happy for him, and for a player of his age to be showing his consistency is phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see how much distance he covered yesterday, because this guy literally did not stop running for the whole game, and he's such a vital cog in that midfield as well, because I feel like because he covers so much ground, he gets a few players out of trouble sometimes when they do provide mishaps, especially maybe sometimes like Pedro Porro, and he's such an unsung hero. Even when he's not at the top of his game, he still provides such a important role for the teams. That's why I was never in favour of really taking him out of the team, because I'm not sure if anyone else that we have can provide what he does in terms of just sheer work rate and sheer stamina throughout the whole game. And you saw Bissouma tired throughout the game yesterday and did get taken off, and we were better much for it. But Souare was just so important to keep there for the whole game, because he just that energy levels that he provides us in the middle of the park, and they don't ever diminish ever throughout a whole game. So it was a top performance from Souare yesterday, and I think I'll probably give him my man the match yesterday. Was he your man the match?
Probably, yeah, I would say. Actually, no, I reckon Romero and Van de Ven, I think, joint man.
It was definitely them 3 with our best players on the pitch yesterday. Moving on to number 3, and that is that Brennan Johnson impact.
Yeah, so only on the pitch for 26 minutes, but he definitely made a good impact when he did come on. 2 key passes, 1 big chance created as well. All but defensively, won 2 of his 3 ground duels, made 2 tackles as well, and 1 clearance. So was really getting involved both on and off the ball once he came on for the last 26 minutes, and it was a really good cameo for him. And obviously laid on an assist on a plate for Heung-min Son for the second goal. Really good cutback, and the whole move was really nice. Really good header into Maddison to start the move off as well. So very good cameo from Brennan Johnson, and looking forward to seeing more of him.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see him start now. I think this Richarlison thing, he had a poor game. As much as we've been saying here in the studio, you got to back Richarlison and he'll come good at some stage. You can't keep playing him when you've got someone like Brennan waiting in the wings and showing what he's showing when he comes on the football pitch. Yesterday was a really high quality performance from Brennan Johnson. That movement into the box for the goal as well, where he's just squared it to Heung-min Son, was top notch movement. And I can't wait to see maybe him and Destiny Udogie linking up on that left hand side, because with the passing that Destiny Udogie can bring and the movement that Brennan Johnson has, I think it's just going to open a whole new dynamic to what we have as opposed to when Richarlison plays there. So yeah, I, like you, cannot wait to see more of Brennan Johnson, because I think every game he's played so far, or all the minutes that he's had, he's only shown positive things.
Yeah, he's played 10 minutes against Sheffield United. Played
an hour against
Arsenal. Was this his first appearance? Or he came on against?
He came on in the last few minutes against Fulham.
Yeah, didn't have to. But whatever. Look, in the short minutes against Sheffield United, in the hour against Arsenal, and in the time he had against Palace, you can't say anything but he's been very involved. He's looked to score goals and make assists, and he's made things happen even in that short amount of time, and he's looked impressive. So looks like, hopefully, if he can, once he starts getting really acclimatized into the team, it's still so early on as well in his Spurs career, he looks like he could have a very big impact. Yeah,
and on the Richarlison thing again, it's like it's time now for Richarlison to be on the bench and come on and make the impact that Brennan Johnson's doing and coming off the bench, and then he can start to make a claim for his first team spot back as well. And it's just healthy competition, isn't it?
Completely agree.
And next up, number 4, we're going to go to 5 points clear.
Yeah, so looking at the league table, I don't think that there's any mystery what this one is about. It's actually the first time, apparently, since 1961 that Tottenham have been 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League at any sort of time, which is mad. I was thinking about it in the car, yes, it's very early on, and understand and
everyone else has to play again.
But I was thinking about it, when have we ever, at any point in time, even when there have been times when we've been in title races and stuff, even in recent history, like when we were chasing down Leicester and City or whatever, and even there were times I remember under Harry Redknapp, I think one season we had an amazing start to the season. I think it was in 2009 when we ended up getting top 4 for the first time. We won our first few games.
Was that when Defoe slid at the end? There was that season.
There was that season as well. We had a great start to the season when we were in a title race for a bit. But I was like, when have we ever, even in 5 games in or something, when have we ever been 5 points clear at the top of the league at any point in time? I was like, it must have never happened. And now I've seen the stat that it's happened first time since 61. So I think that goes to show how rare it is. So enjoy it, people. Drink it in. Who knows when the next time this will happen? So absolutely phenomenal. And I think, again, testament to Ange Postecoglou and how he's turned this club around, that we're sitting in this position. I know it's only 10 points clear, 10 games into the season. I understand it's very early on, so you can't really say, we're going to be in a title race or whatever, just because we're 5 points clear at this stage. But the fact that we are 5 points clear at this stage is something to say about how he's turned things around. So couldn't be happier at the moment.
Yeah, and we've put ourselves in a position now where we're 5 points clear at the top of the league with everyone still to play this weekend, 100%. But you look at it now, when you looked at what we thought coming into a season, we thought, oh no, Harry Kane, all right, if we get Europa League this year, it'll probably be a good season, and we would have taken it, we would have been happy with it. But now we've put ourselves in a position where if we don't make top 4, it's probably going to feel like a bit of a letdown.
We're 10 points clear of 6th.
Yeah.
So if we're saying 5th is potentially a Champions League spot, and the aim was to get Champions League football for next season, you'd have to say at this point, given that we're 10 points clear, I know they've got games, but there's no guarantee Newcastle beat Wolves or anything like that. So the fact that we're 10 points clear at this stage, it would be a big disappointment if we didn't get Champions League football now. Not necessarily top 4, but definitely Champions League football next season, considering the position we've put ourselves in. So I think that in itself is phenomenal. The fact that we're in that position to say, I'm not saying we've got top 5 wrapped up already, but I mean, if that gap increases anymore, we will have it wrapped up soon.
Yeah, it's incredible to think of, isn't it? It's absolutely incredible.
It could be 15 points clear, in a few weeks' time, which is mental to think about.
All right. Well, let's move on to the 5th and final takeaway. And this was the heartwarming moment of the game yesterday, and Bentancur's return.
Yeah, and that was the biggest takeaway because of all the things that have happened, all the good things that have happened this season so far. To see Bentancur returning at the the end of October back on the pitch after such a serious injury could be the best thing of the lot. And so happy to see him back on the pitch, and to think when he's back to his best and he's like making an impact on the team, how much better that could make us. And to think about all these different things, like how amazing he is, and when he's on top form, and how functional he could be in this team as well. It's amazing to think about, and you saw how much it meant to him, how much it meant to the team to have him back on the pitch, and what a moment it was to see him, and how heartwarming it was, and brought a tear to my eye to see him back on the pitch. So can't wait to see him back in full flight, maybe starting games soon, and seems as like he's going to be a regular fixture now in matchday squads.
Yeah, and not only what it means to him and what it means to his teammates as well, but what it meant to the fans as well, seeing him on the pitch yesterday. The fans were so excited ever since they saw the team sheet come out. I mean, we were there in the pub, and when the team sheet, we were outside Selhurst Park, and when the team sheet came out and we saw Bentancur, you saw everyone around us just get so excited and start singing his name and everything. And throughout the game, fans were singing his name, and then when he came on, and then that little celebration at the end when Sonny pushed him in front of the fans was just so heartwarming and great to see. And look, we've been speaking about this trifecta, and it looks like we're getting closer and closer to it. The midfield of Bentancur, Maddison, and Bissouma. But then where do you fit in Pape Souare? Because Bentancur's got to win that shirt back now off Souare. Yeah, and that's just the reality of it.
100%. And he's going to have a tough job, but if anyone can do it, if Bentancur can play to the level he was playing last season, however well Souare's playing this season, it wasn't even close to what Bentancur was showing last season. That's the reality.
All right, well, there you have it. Those were the 5 takeaways from the game